In a hindered street, a Yakuza man named Oda awakens, regarding himself as in simply his clothing and before Bok-soon, the incredible professional killer. Rather than killing him right away, Bok before long makes sense of she gained from her girl Jae-yong that things ought to be done decently, which was examined when they heard the report about the congressperson discrediting all claims that his child was deceitfully conceded into school. So in all honesty, Bok before long gives Oda a sword so he can shield himself while she'll battle with an axe. A savage fight starts between two extremely gifted heroes, however eventually, Oda kills Bok-soon. Notwithstanding, Bok before long is unexpectedly seen alive also, on the grounds that that battle had recently been here, breaking down the circumstance and foreseeing the outcome. Seeing as she can win hand to hand, she chooses to cheat and simply shoot Oda. A while later, Bok before long returns home, where she finds her little girl has been concealing cigarettes. This causes Bok-soon to recall when her harmful dad found her smoking and caused her to eat a cigarette. At the point when Jae-yong returns home, Bok before long goes through numerous situations in her psyche, and seeing they all end in a contention, she chooses not to chide her, since their relationship is now tense and off-kilter. Jae-yong doesn't have the foggiest idea about her mom is a professional killer and abhors how cryptic and missing she can be. The following day, Oda's demise shows up on the news. Min-kyu is happy to see Bok before long went about her business competently in light of the fact that he's the chief of MK Endeavor, the professional killer organization Bok before long works for. Be that as it may, his sister Min-hee is envious on the grounds that she knows Min-kyu reveres Bok-soon and pays more regard for her. In the interim, Bok before long gets along with her hired gunman companions for a beverage. Everybody is dazzled by her sword and her compensation, which is very high since she's class N and simply incredible. While they visit, they talk about the three standards Min-kyu has shown all the professional killer organizations: never murder minors, just take occupations authorized by their organizations, and consistently endeavor the appointed positions. Resisting these principles will destroy the representative. After the gathering is finished, Bok before long finds a gathering of hooligans looking at her vehicle and calling her underhanded names. Bok before long put downs them back, however before they can respond, individual professional killer Hee-sung cuts in, what's more, thrashes them all. Hee-sung is on par with Bok-soon and ought to be class A too, yet he was unable to go that high since he got on the president's awful side. After the battle, Bok-soon and Hee-sung go through the night together, and Bok before long gives Hee-sung his cash for his dad's clinical treatment, which harms Hee-sung's pride. In the meantime, Jae-yong is meeting with her sweetheart Sora. Their relationship is a mystery since they realize their moms wouldn't support their inclinations. Tragically, they need to intrude on the entirety of their kissing when a gathering of schoolmates nearly strolls on them, and Jae-yong needs to turn down Choi Cham's challenge to hang out, which drives him rather crazy. In a little while, Bok before long goes to the MK workplaces to see Min-kyu, however Min-hee blocks her direction, what's more, hauls her away for an extraordinary action. In an obscure restroom, Yong-ji goes after a man, setting off a furious battle that tosses them against the wall, uncovering this is only a practice in the Professional Killer Foundation. Min-hee calls Bok before long out and requests that she train with Yong-ji, who is her greatest fan. Yong-ji arms herself with a wooden blade and Bok-soon with a marker, and the battle begins with a conspicuous benefit for Bok-soon. Yong-ji figures out how to pull a stunt to toss his weapon from one hand to the next, which would have given Bok-soon a charming in the event that the blade had been genuine. Anyway, Bok-soon rapidly fights back and uses her marker to compose on Yong-ji's neck, which would have equaled passing. Thereafter, Bok before long meets with Min-kyu, who causes her to pick between two envelopes for the following mission. Bok before long ganders at her decision and finds she should kill a kid, yet Min-kyu rapidly remedies her and makes sense of he's old enough. Bok-soon likewise takes the risk to remind Min-kyu her agreement is finishing soon and she'll be resigning. Their gathering is interfered with when Bok before long gets a call from the school telling that Jae Youthful cut Choi Cham. She hurries to the school and discovers that her girl is in danger of being removed in light of the fact that she never gave a justification behind the assault. For the time being, she gets 7 days of suspension, and afterward the board of trustees will settle on a legitimate choice afterward. Thereafter, Bok before long discussions to Jae Youthful and requests a clarification, yet Jae Youthful just says she needed to kill Choi Woon. Later, while Hee-sung is on a task cleaning the bodies he left, Bok before long offers her organization furthermore, blusters about how far off she feels from her girl. She's additionally stressed that Jae-young is turning out to be a lot of like her. In the meantime, the heads of every professional killer organization under MK are having a gathering. They've found there's a homicide casualty that occurred external organizations' requests and the guilty party could be one of their representatives. Min-kyu guarantees everybody that assuming that is valid, he will not hold back to kill the offender for disrupting the norms. They don't have the foggiest idea about this as every one of an arrangement by Min-hee, who needs to dispose of Bok-soon to have Min-kyu for herself. In a little while, Bok before long continues to attempt to converse with Jae-youthful, however the young lady disregards her. At that point she gets a call from Min-kyu, who is preparing to go out traveling, and he illuminates her that Yong-ji will be her accomplice for the mission. Later at night, the two professional killers break into the casualty's loft and thump him out, then, at that point, they start setting up the subtleties to make it seem as though he did it without anyone's help. Yet, when she's going to kill him, Bok before long understands the face looks natural and checks the farewell later. It turns out this is the representative's child, who the dad is winding up dead to dispose of the outrage. Her considerations are unexpectedly hindered by a call that goes straightforwardly to phone message, and she pays attention to the message to find it's Jae-young saying, "Sorry for everything." Roused by this, Bok before long will not kill a young fellow since his father's embarrassed, so she calls Min-kyu to let him know she's committed an error and bombed the mission. Min-kyu has previously shown up at a Russian bar and he puts on his tiny headphones to converse with Bok before long while he carries on his central goal. A savage fight follows in the bar, yet Min-kyu has no issues battling and killing each man that approaches him with precise shots or hand-to-hand battle. As he battles, he requests to know reality, yet Bok before long keeps up with her account and even makes Yong-ji say she likewise committed an error to make it more trustworthy. Min-kyu calls attention to Bok before long defied the norms, so to purchase his quiet, Bok before long says she'll acknowledge to broaden her agreement with MK as opposed to resigning. Her main condition is that no one can complete the mission she fizzled, and Min-kyu acknowledges. At the point when Bok before long returns home, Jae-young is as of now resting. Anyway, when she leaves the room, it's uncovered that Jae-young was simply professing to be snoozing. What's more, she's been requiring solace in light of the fact that So-ra won't answer her messages. In the wake of getting done with his own job, Min-kyu calls Min-hee and advises her to close the representative's case, overlooking the reality this could harm the organization's standing. Min-kyu has a reasonable inclination for Bok-soon and it makes Min-hee can't stand her more. Prepared for vengeance, she goes searching for Hee-sung to request that he finish Bok before long's fizzled mission, which he promptly acknowledges in light of the fact that it would place him in the associations and give him the cash for his dad's treatment. On the plane, Min-kyu can't resist the urge to ponder the day he met Bok-soon numerous a long time back. At the point when Min-kyu broke into a house to kill a man, the person's girl returned home before than anticipated. This was Bok-soon, who wasn't irritated by the reality somebody was attempting to kill her harmful father. As a matter of fact, she kicks the seat to follow through with the task. Min-kyu had been dazzled by the young lady's absence of dread and speedy reasoning, so he took her under the care of him to prepare her as a professional killer. In a little while, Bok-soon at long last will have a legitimate talk with her girl, who shares what really occurred. Chol-cham snapped a photo of her thus Ra kissing, then, at that point, he undermined with making them public except if Jae-youthful dated him for 1 month. To exacerbate the situation, So Ra requested that Jae-youthful do what he said for her standing. Hurt by her sweetheart's absence of sympathy, Jae-youthful answered by wounding Chol-cham with some scissors. Bok before long is very upset to hear her little girl likes young ladies and inquires as to whether she's recently confounded, which harms Jae-youthful profoundly and causes her to remind her mom she maintains mysteries as well. Their discussion is interfered with by a visit from Yong-ji. Bok before long thinks this is an assault, however she quickly quiets down when Yoon-ji makes sense of she's been terminated on the grounds that she's being faulted for the inability to cover for Bok-soon. Feeling remorseful and sad, Bok before long takes Yong-ji to the bar to eat together. Furthermore, Jae-young needs to see how her mom picks work over her once more. At the bar, Bok-soon's professional killer buddies show up with Hee-sung as they compliment him for turning into a position, which promptly lets Bok before long know that something's off base. In the meantime, Min-kyu brutally faces Min-hee for following through with the congressperson's task, yet Min-hee answers by attempting to kiss him. Min-kyu turns her down and sticks to protecting Bok-soon. At the bar, Bok before long sees the insight about the kid's demise and promptly thinks about what occurred. Her chiding of Hee-sung is unexpectedly hindered by a call from Min-hee, who requests to be put on speaker. Then she offers the mission of killing Bok-soon. Whoever oversees it will hop straight to rank B. Another savage battle starts that even the bar proprietor joins, and Bok before long is stunned to see Yeom-ji is her ally, helping her kill every one of the folks. Individually they kill each and every professional killer with anything that apparatus they can find around, and finally just Hee-sung is left. At the point when Bok before long comes to kill him, Hee-sung requests that she deal with his father before he bites the dust. A while later, Bok before long calls the cleaning group and asks why Yeom-ji helped her, so Yeom-ji makes sense of she simply needs to get by and Bok before long had more possibilities winning. Then, at that point, Bok before long gets a call from Jae Youthful, who ponders when her mom will return home since she really wants her. Anyway, Min-kyu unexpectedly appears and brutally pushes Bok-soon against the wall, incensed since she's disrupted a lot of norms and this will cross paths with the other pioneers. Bok before long doesn't maintain that her little girl should hear this, so Min-kyu rapidly obliterates the telephone. Then Yeom-ji cuts in and makes sense of that it was Min-hee who sent the orders. Min-kyu requests that Bok before long come to the workplace the following day to re-establish her agreement on the grounds that that is the main way he can safeguard her, yet Bok before long rejects, knowing that this irreverence implies they'll need to battle. Anyway, when she computes the result, she can see she loses, so she must choose between limited options however to acknowledge to restore the agreement. After Bok before long leaves, Min-kyu asks Yeom-ji not to educate anybody regarding this. At home, Bok before long is reproved by her little girl, who had been stressed on the grounds that she didn't reply her telephone. Jae-yong makes sense of so Ra has said a final farewell to her and is currently denying she's into young ladies like that. Bok before long apologizes for her response prior and commitments Jae-yong she doesn't need to conceal what her identity is. Then she has a breakdown, and Jae-yong understands her mom has had a horrendous day at work as well. They bond over their troublesome lives while Bok before long keeps on keeping subtleties unclear, yet, Jae-yong unexpectedly admits she once tracked down a firearm and a phony identification in her mom's pack. This makes Jae-yong think her mom is CIA, and since Bok-soon at long last feels near her little girl, she doesn't deny it. The following day the organization supervisors hold a gathering to examine the killing of their men, thinking that Min-kyu is associated with this. Min-kyu makes sense of Bok before long had been shielding herself and offers money-related pay, yet, a portion of the supervisors don't trust him and request that he finish things for himself as the rules say, in any event, giving him the edge to do as such. All things considered, Min-kyu kills one of the supervisors on top of the table and reminds everybody that he is the standard, so he adds another one to the rundown, not drawing weapons during their gatherings. In the meantime, Bok before long goes to the workplace to sign the agreement, just to find Min-hee, who admits Yeom-ji was killed by Min-kyu after she left an evening or two ago. Incensed, Bok before long kills Min-hee with a pen and leaves it for Min-kyu as a message that she needs to duel him. At night, Bok before long tries to have an extremely comfortable supper with Jae-yong, in any event, letting her avoid the vegetables. She believes her should triumph when it's all said and done, a last decent memory in the event that she doesn't return. Minutes after the fact, Bok before long shows up at the workplace, and Min-kyu starts taking shots at her as soon as the lift entryways open. Anyway, Bok before long doesn't move, realizing he isn't being serious yet. Then, at that point, Min-kyu requests that she have a beverage with him, saying he's now anticipated the fight also, that she loses. Bok before long starts going through many expectations in her mind, utilizing a wide range of procedures to attempt to kill Min-kyu each time. However, regardless of what she attempts, she generally winds up losing. Anyway, hearing him discuss the past times causes her to acknowledge he has a shortcoming. Furthermore, that is Bok-soon herself. It turns out Min-kyu had been infatuated with her this time, and when Bok-soon at long last says it out loud, diverting Min-kyu and kill him with a samurai sword is sufficient. Prior to passing on, Min-kyu admits he sent a tablet to Jae-youthful so she could watch everything through the surveillance cameras. Terrifying and vexed, Bok before long surges back to her home, apprehensive her girl will abhor her now. Anyway, Jae-youthful is sleeping in her bed, so perhaps Min-kyu was lying. At that point, Jae-youthful awakens and lauds Bok-soon for continuously buckling down for the family, which causes her to feel regretful and leaves her contemplating whether Jae-youthful genuinely doesn't have the foggiest idea. In a little while, it's uncovered that the representative that wrecked his child kicked the bucket in his vehicle due to carbon monoxide harming, inferring Bok before long made it happen. Jae-yong has formally been ousted, however she goes to the school to say one last farewell to her companions. She warmly greets Sora and inclines in to murmur in her ear that she discussed whether to kiss her before everybody or to simply kill her. Subsequently, she visually connects with Chol-cham as she contacts her neck, reminding him what she's prepared to do. The film ends here.
Hey, this is Joymahidul here. At first, if you like the video, please share it with your friends and your respected comments below here. For video clips, all credits go to the movie owners. We make which are truly hidden gems to entertain people. This video is all about explaining the movie from our own point of view. For the explanation, we have used most of the video clips for the movie for the better understanding. Stay with us till the end. Enjoy the video. Please subscribe and follow. Turn on notification button.